What if I told you the Barbarian just stole the Sorcerer's teleporting powers and now he's one-shotting everything in sight? Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't just a regular Barbarian smashing stuff, nope. This is the Flash Quakes Barbarian. Teleporting, jumping and one-shotting enemies faster than you can blink. Imagine combining the raw strength of a Barbarian with teleportation speed of a Sorcerer. Now had the ability to one-shot everything. Welcome to the Flash Quakes build, the fastest and most destructive Barbarian you'll ever see in Diablo 4. Clearing the pit in just 70 seconds by one-shotting everything? Easy. When this build is at full power, we're talking under a minute. Can your Sorcerer do that with the same amount of muscles? Get ready to jump, teleport and one-shot your way through dungeons and bosses. With this build, nothing stands in your way. Let's jump right into the madness. Hi guys, IZI, and today I will present you with an in-depth video about the Flash Barbarian. This is the build that I made since few days ago, and I truly think actually this is the most powerful and moreover the fastest Barbarian build, and I will prove you right now. Actually, Earthquakes are really powerful for all Barbarian builds, and in addition of this power, I wanted to add more speed. As you can see here in this run, just look here, I see I'm stuck, and look how fast I travel all this straight line. All right, so yeah, this is the Flash Barbarian infinite leap and teleport. So yeah, with this build you will move faster than ever. And why we are using teleport? Because the frame rate, the animation is a bit faster than the leap, so it's a bit of min-maxing about the speed. Yeah, you will move faster than any other Barbarian build, and you will hit like truck. So you can approximately use 2 leap before 1 teleport. As you can see here in this video, we will move so fast, my friend. And I will also show you at the end of this video, I did 72 seconds, 1 minute plus 10 seconds in solo pit, and in group we almost did 47 seconds clear. This is so insane. Here we go, my friend. And the main strength of this build is that you can clean all activity at the maximum speed possible, and you will just destroy Sanctuary. I will just show you that you can one-shot also any boss or any endgame content. As you can see here, Joel will just die in my Quakes, my friend. And the goal of this build is just to reduce the cooldown reduction to create an infinite loop of leap. As you can see here, no problem of cooldown reduction, infinite leap in Sanctuary, my friend. We can add some teleport to be faster. It's 2 or 3 leap and you can teleport and you can leap again. Another thing that you can do is to prepare all your cooldown, and just when Joel spawn, you hit with your Hammer of the Ancient. It's a one-shot, alright? Oh, we also got a Uber unique in this video, my friend Grandfather. So thank you for giving me luck. I will also show you how it's easy to defeat Uber Lilith, my friend, and that will allow you to get a free spark or craft your unique. It's a one-shot. And the second phase can't kill us because we are too mobile. So this is really simple to beat Lilith with this build also. You can just set up your Earthquake, call out the Ancient, it's a one-shot. And now we can't literally just die. It's impossible to die here, because we got infinite leap, my friend. So this is really simple. We also got Challenging Shout as defensive skill. So you just have to leap and we have a ton of damage reduction. There is no problem, my friend, if you want to beat Lilith. if you wanna help your friend to kill this evil woman. So right? Alright, so this is really simple to kill Lilith, my friend, and you will annihilate any endgame activities easily. So let's start with the build, my friend. As I'll show you just before, this is by far the best and the fastest Barbarian build to play actually. There is just, if you want to reach top 10 Barbarian player with the pit, you will have to play a push version that I will present you. And for majority of player, my friend, I swear, my Flash Barbarian is the best and the funniest build to play. Here we go. So just before we start, if you like my content, don't forget to put a like and drop comment down below. I will answer to all your commentary. And my friend, don't forget the most important thing, and I will give you a bro check. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will present you now the build, my friend, and if you are in leveling phase, you can also play my leveling infinite silent quakes OTA for level 1 to 60. Don't forget also to put my profile in favorites for the next juicy build, and this is my planner of the Flash Quakes Barbarian Infinite Lead Teleport. So you got the starter budget version to level 60 from Torment 4, and you got the final version with the ultimate beast variant. There is some important point to understand right before. The first one is that you will need a ton of cooldown reduction. I will explain you right after, but cooldown reduction, a leap cooldown reduction or brawling cooldown reduction is really important for this build. And you have the calculator here. I created Snail for this leap CDR calculator. Snail is a max roll player, so thanks to him to create this one. So you have to reach your cooldown reduction at 0 and you will be okay. In this build we will have a fully uptime of Berserking, as you can see here, so this is really strong. We fully benefit of damage boost by a Berserking system, and we fully benefit of the Unconstrained. Earthquakes will deal a ton of damage with the aspect, and the most important source of damage of our Earthquakes is the rune. The tech rune is really important to deal massive damage with your Earthquakes, and we will get also an insane cooldown reduction and a good element resistance with our area spearing. This is really strong. And finally, Bulkatos gives us permanently 30% damage reduction with our Earthquakes. So let's start with our bar of active skill. So unlike the leveling build, Hammer of the Enchant becomes a part of our skill rotation with the powerful effect of Mantle of Mountain Fury. This one was bugged, but now it's fixed, and it makes our Hammer of the Ancient consumes all our active Earthquakes to make them explode, and the result is a chain of highly damage explosion. And damage of these juicy cataclysms are based on the duration of the consumed Earthquake. So you have to find the perfect spot with maximum Earthquake active, then you put your Hammer of the Ancient in the ground and you will just destroy anything is living. As you can see here, you prepare your Earthquake and your Hammer of the Ancient just make them explode and deal a ton of billion damage. Then we got a Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry gives us good movement speed, resource generation, and unstoppable effect, and gives us also fortified. Then we got Warcry. Warcry gives us an insane boost of damage when we activate the skill, and it gives us also Berserker activation, but anyway we are permanently under Berserker. Challenging Shout, my friend. Challenging Shout, pretty simple, huge damage reduction and boost of our maximum life. And this is a mandatory crucial skill if you are playing at high level of speed. Then we play also with Call of the Ancient. Call of the Ancient, how amazing our friends are doing great job. This is a decent multiplicative boost, good overall damage. Seeing the Ancient from our areas bearing are quite formidable of their own. And we finish with the leap, our sweet mobility tool in combination of teleport, my friend. It will create tons of earthquakes. And the goal is to get enough of cooldown reduction, as I said, for perma leap without penalty when combined with giant strides. This is the aspect, an important aspect, giant strides. And as I said, leap just will create a ton of earthquakes. Just look all those earthquakes, and I let you imagine what could it be in hordes. In hordes is a rampage. And now here we go for the passive. We don't use generator skill. You can play with batch for pushing peaks if you want to rank your Barbarian. So we got Hammer of the Ancient. I just present you before what is Hota. We put just 1 point in the Rapas to create multiplier after Overpower. 3 point in Imposing Presence, maximum life for toughness, martial vigor for toughness also. We are using Outburst and Tooth as Nail. This is really good to activate bleeding damage reduction, or even gives you chance from the start to have more berserking uptime by killing bleeding monsters. Then Rallying Cry, Rock Cry, Changing Shout, I explained you just before. 3 point in Booming Voice, effect of our shout skill duration are increased. Red Leader, nice amount of healing. Guttural Yell, your shot skill cause enemy to deal less damage. Aggressive Resistance, more damage reduction while you are berserking. 1 point in Battle Favor, because Infinite Leap will also gives us infinite berserking uptime. 3 point, my friend, hit Pit Fighter, more damage on close target and more damage reduction. No Mercy, more critical strike chance. Slaying Strike, more damage on injured and LC enemies. We also use 6 skin because 45 gives us more damage. Call up the Ancient here. What up? 50% increased damage if enemies are stunned or vulnerable while we are using bludgeoning weapon. Heavy Handed, more critical strike damage. Heavy Hitter, really strong because it gives us ton of multiplicative damage for our ultimate skill and for our precious earthquakes. And finally, Unconstrained, because we play fully under berserking, this increase the damage bonus to 60%. It also gives you 30% physical damage bonus reduction while below 65% life. Now the skill variant. Feel free to allocate some passive of your choice. If you need more damage reduction, you can put more point in martial vigor or aggressive resistance or even a challenging shout. You can remove some points, and if you need, maybe from the start, Fury generation with prolific Fury. So breath, as we said in French, breath adaptation is a key. Now let's talk about the arsenal system and techniques. For Hammer of the Ancient, no choice here. We play with bludgeoning weapon. We need the maximum of damage possible. Look at this amazing piece of gear. Maximum damage per second, GS strings, GA, maximum life, GA, critical strike damage. Leap, you can use what you want, two-handed mass or best damage weapon you want. And for the techniques, my friend, we are using the all regular two-handed axe expertise because it gives us a good multiplier while enemy are vulnerable. Now runes and gems. We are using Yule Tech. Why Yule Tech? Because each time you cast a skill with a cooldown, you will create an earthquake. But you can create an earthquake each 1 second because this is the internal cooldown of the rune. It's 1 second. So as you can see here, when you cry, an earthquake, another cry, an earthquake, another cry, an earthquake. But if you are spamming 3 cry at the time, you will create just 1 earthquake. So each second you will create an earthquake with infinite leap or your cry or even your call of the ancient. And from here I decided to add backjar runes because when we travel 25 meters we can use teleport with our escapes. And just look here, when we are moving, the rune of teleport is charging and now we can teleport. And the thing is that leap is also taken in count for this calculation, as you can see here. And now we go teleport, as you can see, and now we can teleport. And from here you can tell, but you can just leap. This is also great, yes, but teleport has better frame rate animation and you will be a bit faster, my friend. All right, If you don't want to play with teleport, you can use any other runes that you want. You can take Gar, for example, more critical strike chance. This is really good for more DPS. Or you can test any other rune you want. Or you can play, I don't know, with the Backtown if you want to spawn Meteor. This could be fun. And for the gems, you will have to farm fugitive heads to get your first obscure gems. So we are using Friend of the Bog, 10% more strength, 10% maximum life, and you will always unhindered. So this is really great. More damage, more toughness. Moonlink Rite. So you can choose, after you can go for Just Stone. For each of your auras and X's an enemy is afflicted by, they take 2% increased damage from you. And in this setup, we have one aura and one hex, so it gives you 4% increased damage. And finally, you can play with Moonlight Riot. This is a good defensive gem, scales with our Piranado levels, 15 damage reduction and 2.5% of maximum resistance. If you don't have those gems, you can play with Skull. If you need armor, you can play with Diamond. If you need elemental resistance. For the weapon, if you have under 40% of crit chance, you can maximize your vulnerable damage. So you put Sapphire, or if you got a nice amount of critical strike chance, I prefer use Emerald. And for the armor, we are using a Ruby because it gives us Barbarian strength, and this is really important. Now the Witchcraft Powers. I have to drink because we talk, and we have to stay hydrated, my friend. So we are using Piranado. Piranado, if you don't have it, you can play with Vengeful Spirit 7. This is a good power for damage reduction, and it gives us a good window of opportunity to create more Fortify, but you will have to replace AACP by Piranado. Piranado deals a good amount of damage, and it's regroup all the monsters, so this is really fine. We are using a Shaking Salt as Eldritch powers, and it applies vulnerable, and this is really strong in combination of Aura of Siphoning, because Aura of Siphoning is dealing damage all around you, and it applies vulnerable on all enemies. Soul Harvest gives us a nice amount of damage by boosting our primary core stat. It's based on monster density, so it's pretty reliable choice because in Pit we have a great density of monster. Moreover, we are always using a cooldown with our active skills. X of Whisper, this is the third one we need for its growth of decays powers natures to activate Friend of the Bog, because we need at least 3 or more growth and decay powers to activate Friend of the Bog. Now the mercenary, my friend, Subo. Subo has a great value as a hired mercenary by tracking monster on the minimap. His shot can also apply stun on enemies, and this is great for our stun damage multipliers. And opening fire gives us 25% critical strike damage, so this is good. And we are using a Rare as reinforcement with his Quarter skill, because Rare pulls enemy, and this is great when enemies are regrouped for Earthquake Explosion. Now, my friend, what are the best stats? So yes, you got all the stats, the best in slot stats on my planner, and we need as offensive multiplier more strength as we can and more critical strike chance as we can. Then we have to reach the 450% damage while berserking with our Tempers and Paragon, and we have to reach also 500% damage close with Temper and Paragon. And why it's really important to reach those cap? Because of two things. The first one is the Blood Rage. Blood Rage, if you reach your damage while berserking cap, you will fully benefit of maximum of 45% more damage. And the second one is the Force of Nature, because earthquakes damage are increased by 40% of our damage versus close bonus up to a maximum of 200%, so we need 500% of close damage bonus. All right, and as I said, another good offensive additive stat will be critical strike damage, as long as you have enough critical strike chance, at least 40%, or unlikely you are playing the starter or budget version, you will prefer vulnerable damage. And for the defense, armor, if you want to reach the 85% physical damage reduction, you will need 1000 armor. This will be not a problem with Harlequin's Crest and Mantle of Mountain's Fury. And for the resistance, you will need at least 70% everywhere, and this will be not a problem with Harriet Bearing. You will have to masterwork 1 point in resistance of all elements. Movement speed can also be great for the Backjar runes for traveling faster. And finally, the most important stat to have is enough cooldown reduction. We will see the cooldown reduction with the Temper and the Masterwork. As I said earlier, thanks again Snail for this calculator, and you will have to use it to see where you are about your leap cooldown. And for the cooldown reduction, tempering will help a lot. Right, so for the temper, here we go. For the cooldown reduction, this is the most important things: leap cooldown reduction and Earthquake side on amulet. Brawling cooldown reduction, so leap cooldown reduction, brawling cooldown reduction on rings. We got also leap cooldown reduction on our boots, and we got cooldown reduction on Harlequin Crest. So damage and utility: Earthquake size, damage while Warcry is active for the rings, and on our weapons, really important, we need to masterwork the Temper of Chance for Earthquake to cast twice, so this is really important to deal ton of damage. Damage while berserking, we need a 1 perfect masterwork on one-handed weapon on Earthquake duration, this is important. Then we go to damage to close enemy. Then after, I will remove this Temper by heavy hitter and damage to close, and heavy hitter and damage to close on our slashing weapon. Another Earthquake size on our boots, and here we are. Now let's check the best in slot. This is the perfect gear we want, and the Masterwork. You will need a Harlequin Crest with GA on cooldown reduction. This is really important. As you can see here, my gear is not perfect yet, but 2 crit Masterwork on cooldown reduction is enough for me, but you need GA on Harlequin Crest. Mantle of Mountain's Fury, this is the perfect one. We need to perfect masterwork on Chance for Earthquake to deal double damage. This is really important, and you can have also GA on Hammer of the Enchant or Defensive Stance if you want. This stuff is really important. GA on Critical Strike Chance and perfect masterwork on it. Harriet's Bearing, this is enough for me, and for the moment I prefer to save my masterwork materials, but 1 GA on resistance to all elements is important, and 1 GA on Call of the Ancient is also important. It's also great. You have to masterwork 1 time in resistance to all elements. For the boots, ranks to brawling skill is also great, and strengths. Here I had to crit masterwork 2 times in a brawling skill. Now for our weapons, this is the perfect one. This is the perfect case scenario: strength, maximum life, critical strike damage, damage while berserking, and maximum of critical masterwork on Earthquakes to cast twice. For the weapon, we want, if possible, 2 GA, strength, maximum life, or strength, critical strike damage. You need 3 critical masterwork on Earthquake duration. And for the other sword are the best because it gives us critical strike damage. I will remove the Earthquake duration, 1 Earthquake duration, perfect masterwork is enough. I will add another damage while Warcry is active and damage to close enemy. For the stat of the slashing weapon, we want the same as our twin-handed mace: strength, maximum life, critical strike damage. I will also add heavy hitter. We need perfect heavy hitter masterwork, damage to close. Amulet, strength, ranks to heavy-handed, and ranks to counter-offensive is also great, but it's hard to find the perfect amulet. And finally, the ring, strength, maximum life, critical strike damage, brawling cooldown reduction, and damage while Warcry is active. And we want perfect masterwork, the strength for maximum damage. You have the summary of the gear and the masterwork on my planner. You have everything you need just here. Now let's talk about the aspect. I will start with the defensive or utility aspect. I like to use forward momentum because when you knock back an enemy, you will have more movement speed, and you knock back an enemy each time you leap, so this is really great to have more movement speed. You can also use concussive strike because it gives us a chance to daze an enemy and inflict them 25% more damage when they dazed. Resource aspect, both chieftain, really great because when we cast shout skill, it reduces their cooldown by 30% per nearby enemy, so this is really good. As you can see here, cooldown is 12 seconds, but with a nearby enemy, cooldown is reduced by a large amount. Giant Strike is really important to reduce the cooldown of your leap 3.5 seconds. I suggest to have at least 3.0 seconds per enemy hit up to maximum of 7 seconds, and hitting a boss with leap provides you the maximum return. This is really important. Then we got Bolkatos. Bolkatos is an offensive aspect and defensive aspect because your Earthquake deals more increased damage and you will gain damage reduction, as you can see here, while you are in your Earthquake and 4 seconds after. Look at those bonus that are really insane. 116% damage and 48% damage reduction. This is really great, and the damage bonus is provided by the Earthquake aspect. 160% more damage. The second part of the aspect is important because the other part is for the ground stomp, and we don't play with a ground stomp with this build. Incendiary Fissure is also great to deal more damage with our Earthquakes, and our Earthquakes are converted into fire damage. So a good aspect here. And finally we are using Venomous Brawler aspect because casting an ultimate skill as a Hammer of the Ancient gives us 30% more damage for 8 seconds, and as you can see here, our cooldown, we are using Call of the Ancient each 8 seconds, so this is really powerful. And finally, Executioner aspect, this is also really great. And as the Earthquake aspect, just the second part is important. Your Earthquake damage is increased by 15% for every 100 strengths you have. So more strengths you will have, more damage your Earthquakes will deal. Alright, so my friend, just before I present you the Paragon board, I will let you with the footage of a solo pit and also 3-player pit, and we did respectively 72 seconds in solo and 47 seconds in a group. So here we go.
nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home, it sucks.
Alright, now the Paragon border. The first one, we are using higher, because higher gives us more damage while berserking, and this is really important to reach the damage while berserking cap. So here, Brawn, more damage, more maximum life. Here, raw power, more damage, strength, more damage to elite, strength damage while berserker, and finally, we will take all the strength points here. This is really important. So the second build is Blood Rage. Blood Rage, as I said, with higher gives us damage while berserking bonus, and this is important to reach the 450% damage while berserking bonus cap. We are using Rumble here. Rumble here is really great to increase the damage to boss and crowd control enemy for each earthquake up to 50%, and we will also take all the strength points in the range. Then we go for restorative, more maximum life, damage while berserking, so important with wrath, and also important craving, more damage to bleeding enemies. The third bot is decimator. Each time you make an enemy vulnerable, your damage is increased by 20%, and overpowering a vulnerable enemy add an additional 20% bonus, so this is really great. The glyph here is Wrath. Wrath is also great to deal more critical strike damage, and we like critical strike damage when we got a high amount of critical strike chance. We take Arrogance, more damage reduction from vulnerable enemies, restorative, more maximum life, and vulnerable damage with Demolish is also good. I will take here Brawn with my next point, more damage and maximum life is also great. The fourth board is the Force of Nature, and we need to reach the cap, as I said earlier, 500% damage to close bonus to fully benefit of the Force of Nature multiplier, because the multiplier is insane. Earthquake damage is increased by 40% of your damage versus close up to maximum of 200%. The glyph on this board is Revenge, dealing tons damage, and we are dealing tons damage with Outburst and Thousand Nail, and this activates the Revenge damage multiplier, and this gives us 15% more damage to enemy that are affected by our turns. We are using Tenacity, maximum life, physical damage with Catalyst, earthquake damage, Denial, resistance to all elements, raw, might, damage to close, and also allowed earthquake duration and Dust Devil Sign, more earthquake duration damage here with the magic nodes, and maximum life also good. And finally, Weapon Master, because we deal 30% increased damage to injured and LC enemies, and the glyph on this board is Challenger, because we deal 10% increased damage to elites. This glyph grants plus 100% bonus to all normal nodes, and we will take all the strength nodes in the range. Iron Strength, maximum fury plus strength, and raw power, maximum damage plus strength. And finally, we are also taking Daniel to get more resistance to all elements. I will continue to fill the Paragon board while I will gain more Paragon point to put in this, but maybe you are already Paragon 300, so you can put point everywhere you want, or in strength node, or if you need more armor here, vulnerable damage. So feel free to allocate the rest of the points where you want. And yes, finally, if you are missing some willpower points, as you can see here, you can take more willpower points just like this from the pass, and you can remove I don't know, some dexterity point to add more willpower, and you will fully benefit of the bonus of your rare node. For the elixir and potion, elixir of precision, root them all, because it gives us more critical strike chance and more critical strike damage. Or if you need more toughness, you can play also with elixir of fortitude, because it increases your maximum life by 20%. So to summarize and give you my last tips and advices, the Flash Barbarian, the Flash Quakes Barbarian, is an absolute beast. So this monster is capable of one-shotting any content of the game and speed farming with ease. So yeah, it can demolish any content of the game. This is perfect for speed farm. This is perfect for earning ton of XP as fast as you can. So try to keep Rallying Cry, Rock Cry and Challenging Shout as you leap around, using them whenever they are off cooldown to maintain buffs. Call of the Enchant is the key for the tosses, fights and big bosses. So for Recurse foes or light enemy, just one Earthquake is enough to kill them for speed farming, as you can see here. So yeah, for speed farming this build is a beast, and as you can see here, the monster just die instantly or they will die in my pass, in my Earthquakes. The mobility is insane, the damage are insane, and if you are also doing high level of pit, maybe bosses or monsters will have more HP, you have to find the good spot. And for this you have to stack Earthquakes for 5 or maybe 4 seconds, and you will detonate everything with your Hammer of the Enchant. So you have to find the perfect spot if the boss needs 3 or more Earthquakes before activate the explosion. Alright my friend, this is the end of this video, and as I said, if you always dream of being both Barb and Sorcerer, with this build dreams come true. This is the best Barbarian build for endgame overall content. This is the fastest Barbarian build to play actually. It can one-shot any boss. This is so satisfying to play, but you will need a good amount of cooldown reduction. If you want, and only if you want, rank your Barbarian on the pit and reach the top 10 players, you will have to play another version for pit pushing that I will show you in another video. I repeat my friend, if you want to help me, please put a thumbs up and drop a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will appreciate a lot. You can also join my Discord, and you can also come and see me on Twitch. It will be a pleasure. It was Sagittarian, thanks for following me, and we'll meet very soon in Sanctuary.